What's going on, everybody? It's Ginger on Wheels here. I'm actually here today with my buddy Jason, and he's going to be helping me test out the thumb throttle that we got from Voro Motors for the Emove Cruiser. Jason is very new to riding electric scooters. He just met up with me a couple weeks ago, and we did the Saturday night group ride in Seattle, and he's in love with the Emove Cruiser now, but he wants to see what it's like with the thumb throttle, and we've got one right here. So we're gonna ride around on this thing and sort of refresh our muscle memory of what it's like to ride on the Emove Cruiser, and then we're gonna do an install of the thumb throttle out here on the go.
Let's ride.
I'm brain farting. Yeah, let's just ride. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of riding. This is just the Emove Cruiser with the stock throttle, and get our muscle memory back, what it's like to ride this thing. I guess it'll be Jason riding first. This guy loves this scooter, and he was totally ripping on it on the group ride. So I invited him to come do this video. This is some pretty loose, thick gravel. Not the best condition for the Emove Cruiser at all. Still does really well though. Full suspension front and back. If you guys want to support the channel, you can get your own Emove Cruiser at Voro Motors, and you use the code Ginger on Wheels and you get 7% off, which is a steep discount. Oh boy. Yeah, one of Jason's favorite things to do on this is go about 20 miles an hour on the asphalt and just shred back and forth. I let him try the Wolf Warrior, and another guy on the group ride let him try his, I forget the scooter was. It was just some other dual motor beefy scooter. But Jason actually likes the Emove more because the lower center of gravity helps him shred easier. I don't know how he's doing that. He says it's getting deep. All right, so how does the throttle feel on this thing? And how does the transition feel between the throttle and the brake? And do you feel like your hand gets tired, or your fingers are in an awkward position, or what do you feel like could be improved?
All right, I feel like there's good ease of use, good comfort. You just give it a little bit of index finger and it has good throttle sensitivity. Even though it may not be the fastest, it feels steady. Braking, I always feel comfortable. And overall, it just feels like a great ride.
Do you feel like your finger or your wrist gets tired?
Not at all. Sometimes I'll put my thumb on top of it instead of down under. You know, okay. If you feel a little hand strain, I'll do this and I won't feel anything at all.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a hand technique that I
Okay, so pro
like.
tip there. Your wrist starts to get tired, just maybe you put your thumb. Do you think you'd benefit if the throttle were like pointed up here or down here lower?
If it was up here, I'd probably be stretching more, but right. And maybe a little bit if you're going to keep the thumb down, but...
All right, so it's in a good spot.
Yeah, overall, I have no complaints.
About horizontal level.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess let's find a shady spot and we'll put the thumb throttle on and then we can go rip around again.
All right.
Okay, so the installation of the thumb throttle is super simple. As you can see here, this thing is pretty much identical to this. So we're just going to take an Allen wrench and unscrew these two screws. Take this controller off, and it's actually like a plug and play situation. This connection right here, you just completely unplug it. It's a semi-waterproof connection, but this throttle controller has the exact same female end, so you just plug it in like that. And then you take your two screws back and you put this right back on there. Replaces this unit entirely, and then you have to take the grip off and you slide this thumb throttle piece on to the bar, and then you have a thumb throttle, you know, around this section of the bar here. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Just gonna pull the grip off. You can use like a little bit of WD-40 or some soapy water to help you get this off if you have a hard time. Okay, so I got a size 5 Allen wrench here. You want to go counterclockwise, lefty loosey, righty tighty. A brake lever that we loosened here with our size 5 Allen wrench. I lied, this is the size 5. And I'm gonna lower the bars, so I got some slack in the brake line here. Slide the brake lever off. Boom. Easy peasy. Back to my Allen wrench set and get a smaller Allen wrench and unscrew these two small Allens here. These are size 3s. So as you saw, our throttle just fell right off. We're gonna unplug the old one. It's a plug and play type situation. We're gonna get our brand new thumb throttle and plug this in. And it does have to go in the right order. You'll see a little tiny notch in the plastic here that lines up with a slot in this thing. They're very, very thin pins inside here, so don't force it if you don't feel like you have them in the right spot. So this is how it goes, basically, more or less. Thumb throttle goes here, this goes here, then our brakes are gonna go here. So I'm gonna get my size 2.5 Allen wrench, go right where I want the thumb throttle, and then just tighten it in the backside here. So I'm gonna move this and this and this over as far as I can while holding this out, so I can make sure that I still have, don't lose function of this, and then tighten them all back down. Okay, so then just take the grip and slide that back on. Done deal there. And in theory, this should power on. And it does. Nice, it works great. I'm done, we just figured it out. When you put the throttle on, I had kickstart turned off, but this new one has kickstart turned on. So we're gonna have to change that, and our brake lever is hanging off, so we're gonna put the brake lever on.
How high can I go? My index finger's scraping on this a bit. We might need to push this down.
Okay. So I just adjusted the throttle and he's screaming, yup, totally money. Oh yeah, he's loving it. The handlebar and the brake lever aren't even attached. He's just already in love with the thing. Jason, come back. I gotta put everything back together. What are you doing? He's like, yep, no other functionality but the throttle. Totally perfect. You can tell this guy rides ATVs. And a good point that he brought up when just now we put this thing on is this is the same throttle style as ATVs and quads have. So that's awesome. I always thought they had the motorcycle style, but that's on there for a reason. Awesome. Let's put it all back together.
Yeah, that feels cool.
Oh yeah, that feels nice.
Give it a whirl.
All right, here we go. Take one on the thumb throttle for the Emove Cruiser. Oh, you took the keys, bro. Oh my gosh. So the difference is night and day. This is way more comfortable, ergonomically speaking. I might need it adjusted a little farther up than him. I know our hands are different, but that's just a minor adjustment. But as far as the actual functionality goes, this thing's great. It completely eliminates that jerkiness that you get with the trigger throttle. I mean, not completely, but you have much more control over it. I don't feel like it hurts my wrist at all either. Let's do some riding. Let's go through here. Let's go along the trail, along the river, like down to however far we want. You think 10 miles would be good? Sure. All right, just roll this way. You pretty much just follow the trail. Oh yeah, he's digging the thumb throttle for sure. This is literally like his 5th time riding electric scooters. He looks very at ease with the thumb throttle. There's pretty much no learning curve for him on that. Look at this guy go, he's a wild man. We're definitely top speed. All right, so we just finished up about a 10 or 15 mile ride with the Emove Cruiser with the thumb throttle. Well, I guess Jason did. I rode it for, 10, 15 minutes. This guy is the real hero here, so let's get his opinion on what he thinks about the thumb throttle after riding it for a long time.
Well, after trying the first thumb throttle, I feel like this one has numerous advantages to it. The thumb throttle feels really good, nice and relaxed. You can just have nice relaxed hands and ride.
And you mentioned it eliminated the need for cruise control, maybe?
Yeah, you don't need cruise control with your hand down because it's in such an ergonomic position that it just feels so good. And as far as you know, changing lanes and turning, it also feels better for that because it gives you a firmer grip on the bars, and you don't have your one finger out reaching out for the throttle. I just feel more in tune, and it just feels like a more aggressive setup for the scooter.
So if this upgrade were $100, would you say it's worth it?
Most likely, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna be hunting down thumb throttles for all the scooters that I own now that I've ridden this thing. Like, I've seen them around on the internet, but I never really bothered to try because not a lot of people use them, but I don't know why. They're amazing. There's a reason why these are on ATVs. It's just like it's a more ergonomic position to have your hand in when you're holding on to something. You don't want your finger out like this. It strains all the muscles in your wrist and hand, and it's just dumb to be quite frank. You can change the positioning where you put all the gadgets on the bar. This is what we ended up going with. It does add a little bit of sag to the end of the grip here, but it's not that noticeable when you're riding. You can change this up however you want it, but it's definitely worth the money, and you can still fold the bar down. All right, everybody, that's it. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you found any of this information useful, and I'll see you guys for the next video.